Hey mathematicians, today our lesson is long division using standard algorithm. Our TEK is 4.4F to use strategies and algorithms, including the standard algorithm, to divide up to a 4-digit dividend by a 1-digit divisor. Let's go ahead and read our learning goal together. Today I am learning how to divide multi-digit numbers so I can estimate and solve real-world problems. I'll know I have it when I can define and identify divisor, dividend, and quotient. I can explain that division is the same as repeated subtraction. I can choose a strategy to use to fluently divide up to a 4-digit dividend by a 1-digit divisor. Let's look at our real-world connection. Division is helpful when we have a large amount of one thing that we want to put into equal groups. For example, stocking grocery store shelves. If you have 5,184 boxes of cereal and each shelf can hold 9 boxes in a row, you'll need to figure out how many rows of cereal you can stock. You can also use division to help you share. If your school has 1,500 markers and wants each student to have 6 markers, you'll need to know how to use long division to know how many students can get markers. Let's quickly go over our vocabulary for our lesson today. Dividend is the number that is being divided. Divisor is the number the dividend is being divided by. Quotient is the answer to a division problem, the size or number of each group. Remainder is the amount left over when a number cannot be divided equally. Expression is a mathematical phrase without an equal sign. Equation is a number sentence that shows two quantities are equal. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our mini lesson. So when you follow a set of instructions or steps, we call this an algorithm. It's like a computer algorithm. We give the computer a set of tasks to perform, and the computer is able to calculate answers because it follows the rules we gave it. Once you learn the steps to division, you will have learned an algorithm. We call this standard algorithm long division. So we're going to use this acronym, Does McDonald's Sell Cheeseburgers Regularly, to help us remember the steps of division. D is for divide, M is for multiply, S is for subtract, C is for check, B is for bring down, and R is for repeat or remainder. So our first example, we are dividing 7,089 by 9. So our 7,089 is our dividend. This is the number we're dividing into. Our divisor is 9, and I already have my multiples of 9 listed out. So our first step is to divide. We need to ask how many times does the divisor go into the first digit. So when I'm dividing, I need to see how close I can get to the 7, looking at my multiples without going over 7. But if I look at my multiples, all of my multiples are larger than 7. This means that I cannot divide 9 into 7. Next, I need to multiply. So I'm going to multiply what I wrote on top by my divisor, and I'm going to write that product below the digit I divided into. So I'm going to multiply 0 times 9, which is 0. I'm going to write that product below the 7, since that's the digit I divided into. Next, I'm going to subtract. I'm going to subtract the digit minus the product and record the difference below, just like I would when I am subtracting normally. 7 minus 0 is 7. And next I need to check. I need to check, is this difference, this remainder, is it less than my divisor? 7 is less than 9, so I can move on. Next, I'm going to bring down the next digit in my dividend. So I'm going to bring down this 0, it's the next digit, and my new dividend is 70. So now that I have a new dividend, I'm now dividing 9 into 70. I'm going to repeat all of my steps. So I first need to ask myself, how many times does 9 go into 70? So I'm going to look at my list of multiples, and remember I want to get as close to 70 as I can, but without going over. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 63 is close to 70, but what if I went one more to 72? Well, I can't because 72 is bigger than 70, so I have to stop at 63. So that's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th multiple. So I'm going to put a 7 in my quotient. Then I'm going to multiply. 7 times 9 is 63. After I multiply, I'm going to subtract. So 0 minus 3, I can't do that. I'm going to need to borrow. 10 minus 3 is 7. 6 minus 6 is 0. Then I need to check, is 7 less than 9? It is. So then I can bring down the next digit in my dividend, which is an 8. My new dividend is 78. I'm now dividing 9 into 78. So let's see how many times 9 can go into 78. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. I can't go 9 times because 81 is larger than 78. So I can only go 8 times. Next, I'm going to multiply. 8 times 9 is 72. Then I'm going to subtract. 8 minus 2 is 6. 7 minus 7 is 0. Then I'm going to bring down this next digit in my dividend. So my new dividend is now 69. I'm dividing 9 into 69. So let's see how many times 9 can go into 69. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Then I'm going to multiply. 7 times 9 is 63. 69 minus 63, so 9 minus 3 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. Then I'm going to check, is my remainder smaller than my divisor? Yes, 6 is smaller than 9. So my remainder is 6. My quotient is 787 with a remainder of 6. So I'm going to put this video, I'm going to link this for you. This is going to show you how to set up standard algorithm long division using a 4-digit dividend and a 1-digit divisor using your blank lined paper. Okay, so our next example is 4,808 divided by 6. So our dividend is 4,808 divided by 6. And then we're going to start with dividing. We need to ask ourselves, how many times can 6 divide into 4? Well, if I look at my multiples, everything is larger than 4, so that means I can't divide 6 into 4, so I'm going to put a 0 in my quotient. Next, I'm going to multiply. 0 times 6 is 0. I'm going to drop that product down below the digit I was dividing into, which was 4. Then I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. Then I'm going to check. Is this remainder, the difference between 4 and 0, is that remainder less than 6? If it is, I can go ahead and bring down the next digit from my dividend. So my new dividend is 48. I'm now dividing 6 into 48. Let's go to our multiples and see how many times we can do that. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times exactly. 8 times exactly. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 minus 8 is 0. 4 minus 4 is 0. I'm going to check to see, is my remainder smaller than my divisor? 0 is smaller than 6. So then I can go ahead and bring down 0. And so now my dividend is 0. So I need to divide 6 into 0, but can I do that? Can I take 0 and break it up into 6 equal groups? I can't. So I'm going to put a 0 in my quotient. Then I'm going to multiply. 0 times 6 is 0. After I multiply, I'm going to subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. Then I'm going to check. Is 0 smaller than 6? Yes. So I can bring down the next digit in my dividend. My new dividend is now 8. 6 divides into 8. How many times? Just 1. Put a 1 in our quotient. Then I'm going to multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. Then I have nothing left to bring down, so this 2 is going to become my remainder. So just a tip, remember that if your remainder is larger than your divisor, you need to go back and check your work because something is wrong. So our quotient is 801 with a remainder of 2. So I'm also going to link this video for you. It's standard algorithm long division using a 4-digit dividend and a 1-digit divisor with a 0 in the quotient. All right, let's go ahead and do a few guided practice problems together. So our problem reads 5,082 divided by 7. So our dividend is 802, 5,802, not 82. 5,802 divided by 7. So I already have my multiples of 7 listed. I just need my steps for long division. So does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers regularly? So I'm going to divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down, and repeat. So I'm going to start with dividing. How many times can 7 divide into 5? Well, if I look at my multiples of 7, everything is bigger than 5, so I cannot divide 7 into 5. Then I'm going to multiply. 7 times 0 is 7. Then I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. Then I'm going to check, is this remainder smaller than my divisor? It is, so I can go ahead and bring down the next digit in my dividend, which is 8. And my new dividend is 58. So now we're dividing 7 into 58. Let's go to our multiples and see how many times we can do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So if I go 9 times, that's going to be larger than 58. I won't be able to do that, so we can only go in 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 minus 6 is 2. Then we're going to check, is 2 smaller than 7? It is. We can bring down the next digit of our dividend, which is 0. And now we're dividing 7 into 20. So 7 goes into 20 2 times. Then we're going to multiply. 2 times 7 is 14. And then we're going to subtract. 0 minus 4, I can't do that. I'll need to borrow. 10 minus 4 is 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. So we need to check, is 6 smaller than 7? It is. We'll go ahead and bring down the 2. And I'm now dividing into 62. So 7 can divide into 62. Let's go to our multiples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. I can't go in a 9 times. That's so close, but I just can't make it. 63 is bigger than 62. So 7 times 8 is 56. 2 minus 6, I can't do that. I'll need to borrow. So 12 minus 6 is 12. 5 minus 5 is 0. I have nothing left to bring down. I do have a remainder. Let's check to make sure our remainder is less than 7. It is. So our remainder is 6. Our quotient is 828 with a remainder of 6. All right, next question. 4,288 divided by 8. So we're going to need to list our steps for long division. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers regularly? Divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down, and repeat. Can 8 divide into 4? Nope, it can't. So I'm going to put a 0 in my quotient. 8 times 0 is 0. Next, I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. Then I'm going to check. Is 4 smaller than 8? It is, so I'm going to bring down the 2. 8 divides into 42. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. 42 minus 40, so 2 minus 0 is 2. 4 minus 4 is nothing. Is 2 smaller than 8? Yes, so I can bring down my 8. How many times is 8 divided into 28? 1, 2, 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. 8 minus 4 is 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. Is 4 smaller than 8? Yes, we can bring down this last digit. How many times does 8 divide into 48? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. 6 times 8 is 48. 48 minus 48 is 0. So our quotient is 536 with no remainder.